Hey everybody, it's Daniel Ramsey, and if you're just joining us now, we've got the special pleasure of talking to somebody who's really been involved deep in building huge real estate teams as well as working with virtual assistants. Caitlyn, I'm so thrilled to have you here today, so thank you for joining.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk because you're the director of client care. I want you to pick Caitlyn's brain and Carissa's because we're going to bring her on in just 2 seconds. But before we do, I just want to make sure we kind of explain how you believe the best practices working with a virtual assistant when you're a big, huge team with multiple locations like you guys. So let's dive into that question, and then we'll bring Carissa on.
Okay. Well, the biggest part of it is Carissa's part of our team. She is a employee just like the rest of our admins in the sense of, you know, we treat her with the same amount of respect. We provide her the same amount of training opportunities. You know, I know Mods also provides her with that opportunity, but we also take it upon ourselves to make sure that if we expect our VAs to learn something, that we need to be able to provide that training and that support to help them get there. And so that's a big part of it, is just knowing that they're becoming part of your family. And so we absolutely love that about all of our VPs. So that's part of it.
Well, you just said something that's really important to our business. It's that we succeed when our clients really have an understanding of training and leading somebody who's in a virtual space, right? So we're definitely going to dive in. I want to bring Carissa on right now. And here she is. Carissa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Daniel.
Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Okay, Caitlyn, take it away. This is your interview. I love it.
Oh goodness. Well, Carissa, I just want to say thank you here. I do my best to tell you how much I'm thankful for you on a regular basis, but you're an amazing teammate, and you're an amazing mom too. So there's a huge shout out for that. Carissa is a very, very good mom. Carissa, what would you say is one of your favorite parts of working for her group?
I would say the encouragement, or actually you mentioned earlier the culture that we have at her group. I really appreciate Adam saying, or coining, I don't know if he coined that term, failing forward, but I really embrace that, because a lot of times we get discouraged when we make mistakes, and we do make mistakes every day, but I think one of my strengths is positivity. So by applying failing forward, I learn from my mistakes, and then I apply being positive and trying to do something to make my actions moving forward.
You know, what would you tell agents out there who are considering hiring somebody like yourself as an operations leader? Because you are a leader within the group, right, Caitlyn? I mean, that she's teaching people how to do the job. She's learning multiple facets of the business. So what would you tell somebody who's considering hiring a virtual assistant, like best practices to get them up to speed, and what did you experience?
I think the best way that worked for me is really having the system set up already. But if the agent or the team is still starting out small, it's really just working with us on a day-to-day basis, that you let us know exactly what you need. And I really appreciate the trust that Caitlyn and actually the whole her group has given, and they really just outlined everything, and then they trusted me that I will follow through. And then I also encourage VPs to be very vocal. Yes, proactive, and telling the people that we work with what we need, exactly what we need, and what would work, because like was mentioned before, we're the one who's in there in the nitty gritty every day. So we know what is working, we know what can be optimized more. It's really transparency. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Transparency for the agent and the VA or the VP.
Awesome. Okay. Well, what about, so you started with listing management, went to transaction management. What has been, And I love what you said earlier. It's good to have open communication and know what the expectation is and some transparency. What has been your favorite part about working with Caitlyn, her group? Like, what has been the part that has made it wow for you?
I think it really is the culture. I like how everyone is so encouraging, and Caitlin said I'm really positive, but I think everyone at her group is really positive as well.
What are some of the pitfalls or mistakes, Caitlin and Krista, maybe you can jump in too, of working with a virtual assistant? What have you learned, or what are the things that you would want to avoid working with a virtual assistant so that everybody who's listening can kind of have a jump start on making this successful?
So I wouldn't avoid ever working with a virtual assistant at all. It has only opened up our world to more opportunity and more leverage and more growth. However, Carissa kind of pinned on this a little bit is, if you can have your system a baseline set, that's really helpful in getting started, because when you already know what you expect out of somebody, and from there you can kind of hand it over, train them, and run with it, and know that you have at least transferred over the information or the process that you want to work the best. Realistically too, Carissa talks a lot about mistakes and failing forward, and none of us are perfect. We all make those mistakes. However, you have to expect that. You have to be open to it, especially when anyone's learning new. I mean, even from our operations coordinators across the country, like, there's always got to be a little room for error. There's very few things that can't be fixed in this industry. And I think that if you can come from a place of, if a mistake happens and you can teach to how to fix it through either, learning, understanding Chris's learning style. Is it a video that I need to record and send to her so she can go back and watch multiple times, but I don't have to sit there and train her on how to do it 5 times? Is it bullet point instructions? Really understanding their learning style can help when that mistake happens. Here, go back, watch this. I need you to ask me what questions that you have that you might not understand or that aren't clear. And then from there, we also don't want those mistakes to happen again. So we do set pretty high standards of, that's what the fail forward is. You can fail all day long, but we don't want to constantly be making the same mistake again.
Yeah. Carissa, what's your answer? What would you want our audience to avoid when hiring a virtual assistant?
Gee, I'm not really sure. Coming from a virtual assistant's point of view, maybe when they are really expecting us to know everything already, because sometimes you still need to train and really study the system. But even if we do have background from another team, sometimes the system that they work with is really too different. And it's just really being patient, and like Caitlin said, learning styles are very important.
Caitlin, what do you think you guys are saving working with MyOutDesk in total?
Oh goodness. Definitely a good savings there. But again, too, we've loved MyOutDesk based off the value of the candidates too, and the skill set. But it is significant cost savings. It's definitely a great opportunity if you're not ready to hire that full admin. What an opportunity to have a virtual professional to help you start your business, and just see how much that leverage can open doors for you.